Hey, Mrparka here to review a new one from James Bell. If you guys aren't familiar with James Bell, he makes really bizarre, kind of crazy, experimental, gory films. Dog Dick, Manure, Tantrum, and his newest one is Nutsack Part 1. Yeah, great title, right? Regardless, James Bell creates these really crazy movies that actually feel very dangerous. With the camera they use and the location, it always feels very grimy and gritty and dirty, and I always just feel like it's dangerous cinema. They are very rough around the edges, but that kind of gives it its charm. He always stars in his movies for the most part, and after Dog Dick, which is kind of like a documentary kind of deal. Not documentary, but more real, based in reality kind of story with these weird people and whatnot. They kind of had these weird, kind of nightmarish worlds he's created. Nutsack is a doozy. It appears that there's some sort of weird kind of aliens entering, or some sort of entering the world, and there's people, body parts all over the streets, and this strange creature that's crawling around. And then you kind of find out there might be more to this story. The cast, essentially, the major cast is all the guys from Fangboner, the two leads, and our Nathan Rumler, who actually directed Fangboner, is in it as well, and James Bell and his wife. This film is very crazy. I just it's completely nuts. Essentially, the little creature ends up killing a lot of people and leaving lots of gory effects on the streets. And it's basically for 35 minutes or so, James Bell kind of wandering to area, discovering kind of new things and murdered victims. And he finds this strange book that has these pages that are gore filled, and he starts to look at it. And there's more to the story that's not going on, but essentially what we have here is people getting massacred by this little creature. There's nudity in here and lots of strange things. And my main love for the movie is the creature. I love monsters, and this kind of resembles something like from the Abomination, or maybe like a low rent Deadly Spawn. Definitely kind of something along those lines, more the Abomination. The film doesn't seem like it takes place in this world at all. All the characters seem to be very disturbed for the most part. The effects range from, they're all like very do-it-yourself, and a lot of them I really like. Some of them aren't as good as the other ones. This is the type of movie where you can see the strings on the puppets, and it is kind of charming in a way, but if the film wasn't so gross, it would be charming. So it is definitely, you see a lot of the rough edges, but like I said, that brings it to charm. James Bell is one of those directors that I'm excited to see what he does next, just because, like I said, his movies feel dangerous and dirty and different. And a movie that's not perfect, like I said, I will watch if it's different. And James Bell's film definitely kind of is definitely one of those, a different, weird experience. And there's only a couple directors out there, I think, doing that kind of deal, especially in the indie world. But this is very rough around the edges, shot on kind of a shot on video type camera, so it looks real grimy and dirty. The acting ranges in this, but most of these characters, I think, aren't playing normal people, so they kind of do bizarre things and say bizarre things. A lot of weird lines in here, like "We love Satan," which was kind of out of nowhere, but the picture on the wall. But regardless, Nutsack is just a bizarre experience that I think, if you are familiar with his other films, I think you will enjoy it. My favorite is still Tantrum. I think that had this great mixture of German splatter and horrific surrealism, or something like that, nightmarish stuff. But Nutsack is definitely worth watching, and I'm curious to see what happens in part 2. I'm Mr. Parka. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.